So today I'm going to open up my Onyx 3/8 impact, the 1828. It's the Nano little mini impact. I've been wanting one of these for a while. I've actually had this for about 3 weeks and just haven't needed it until now. So I thought this would be the perfect time to open it up, take a look at it, show you how I'm going to get it set up, and then put it through the test to see how good it does. It's supposed to have 450 foot-pounds of torque. Has not been opened up yet. So yeah, just go ahead and bust this thing open and get it set up. And I'll compare it to my Ingersoll. Got a little rubber grip. Forward and reverse lever, and it's got it's numbered. I don't know how well that's showing up, but you've got level both in forward or reverse. You've got 1, 2, and 3 power levels. I don't know if you can see how small that is. So here's my Ingersoll, 1/2 inch. This is a titanium 1/2 inch torque impact wrench, and here's the little Nano. These there's a few people on YouTube that's already talked about these. It's got a pretty good reputation, so I thought I'd go ahead and give it a try. There's a lot of times that I wish I could get an impact into tight areas, and that's obviously what this is all about. And today I'm getting ready to do a brake job on a SUV, and this is going to be the perfect tool to knock everything loose and make it easy. I've got a 3/8 ratchet that I normally use. Ratchets are fine, but you know what? An impact just knocks bolts loose, spins them out super fast, makes the job so much quicker and easier. So the way I'm going to set this up is with one of these hoses. This is just a Harbor Freight. I've got some more of these that I've used. They make a couple different versions of this. This is a 1/4 inch. This is a 1/4 inch by 5 foot. They make a 3/8 by 5 foot. And they've got a couple of these. What I like about this one is it's got the flex little fitting there that screws into it'll screw into the tool here. And since it's a little bit smaller than my regular air hose, let me show you. So this is the regular air hose that comes from my compressor. This is the hose that is going to come straight off the tool. What I found whenever I connect this hose straight to a lot of the tools that I use, this hose is so big, sometimes it's tough, to get into places. The hose is just interfering. Plus it's got the little stop right here whenever it reels. This is an automatic reel. It reels up on a reel, and I pull it out when I need it. So this will get hung up on the fenders and stuff. It's about 2 feet away from the end here. Whenever you've got the tool, whatever you're using, whether it's an impact or an air ratchet or whatever, this big thick hose just seems to get in your way quite a bit. This is the inner, and they call this a 1/4 inch because the inner diameter of the hose is 1/4 inch in diameter. This hose here, I think, I'm not even sure, it's either 3/8 or 1/2 inch. So all the way up to the tool, it's going to have the CFMs required to run most tools, and then only the last 5 foot is it going to drop to a 1/4 inch hose. I've got my 3/8, which is the same exact deal. It's 3/8 by 5 foot. if for some reason this seems to restrict this little impact at all, I'll go ahead and swap out the this hose here with the 3/8 that I've also got. But I've got the 3/8 on my air ratchet. I've got an Ingersoll air ratchet, 3/8 air ratchet. That's a high torque air ratchet, and that thing, it's a powerhouse. It breaks all kinds of stuff loose. So I don't think this is going to have a problem supplying the air required for this little impact. But let me get this hooked up. Basically, I'm going to wrap Teflon tape around the threads here. I'll screw it into the bottom, and then I'll put my little air nozzle fitting in here that hooks into my air hose, and we're going to give this thing a try. I'll be back. Okay, got it all hooked up. The nice thing about these is the way that will swivel around, and being the smaller hose, 5 foot of it, it allows me to get into places, you know, and that you normally can't. Let me plug this up. And there you go. We're going to see if we can knock some bolts loose with it now. Let me get you set up, and we'll come back. Okay, I've got it on full power in reverse. This is 17 millimeter, and we're going to knock these brake bolts out. Hopefully, we'll see if we can do it. Alright, take care of both those. So, there you have it. I don't know what the torque is on these, so I don't know how tight they were, but they have not been out. These are the factory pins. And that made that job a lot quicker and easier. So, highly recommend. The nice thing about this is being able to get it in here. I'm also going to get me, I don't have any short impact sockets yet, so I'm going to get me a set of short impact sockets. Maybe some swivels even. But yeah, if you don't have one of these and you do a lot of work and you need access, you know, in tight areas, this is about the smallest 3/8 impact. They make the same exact one in a 1/2 inch drive too. I didn't want that one. To me, if you're doing 1/2 inch drive bolts, you're probably going to need something with a little bit more power than this, you know, to knock those loose. But 3/8 drive, this is perfect. So this is, again, this is the Onyx by Astro. It's a Nano. 1828 is the model number. The 1828 is the 3/8 drive. I can't remember what the number is for the 1/2 inch, but make sure you don't get those confused. I almost ordered the wrong one. It's an 18 something, and it's the 1/2 inch drive. So if you want the 3/8, the 1828 is the one that you want. And like I say, this thing is nice. And one more thing, if you do set up one of these hoses at Harbor Freight, 5 feet, this is 1/4 inch. With it, now this one, like I say, it's got the swivel. It's literally like $6 for this hose. Very, very well worth it. It will prevent a lot of frustration if you've got a bigger hose that you've connected to the end of this that you're struggling with, trying to get it, you know, down into places, and that bigger hose, believe it or not, ends up impeding a lot of the work that you're trying to do. So get the smaller hose. I prefer the ones that swivel right there, just, you know, so when you are in that one little area and this is needing to swivel up or down or sideways, it'll do it. Literally $6. Grab you a couple. Okay, take care. Okay, there's the tie rod nut. Got my little Nano. We're going to see if it's a 19 millimeter socket. We'll see if it'll zip it off there or not. Wow, I don't even know if that thing was tight or not. Get out of it. There we go. Okay. So let's see that next one. What size is it? Okay, we'll do the upper ball joint. And the lower is the same size, so that's good. So far, I'm loving my little Nano. Okay, so far so good. That Nano is zipped off all the big. What I'm going to go after are the, I'm not going to actually take the caliper off of the caliper bracket. I'm going to take the whole bracket off of the knuckle. Unless I have to take the caliper off, but I shouldn't have to. So I'm going to squeeze the piston back a little bit just to make sure I've got plenty of slack. Let's see if this thing will get in there. What size is that? 17. If you don't have one of these Nanos, you need to get you one. So anyway, that's all I've got. If you don't have one of these Nanos, get online and order one. One of the greatest tools ever invented, in my opinion. Gets in tight places, got all kinds of torque and power to get the job done. Anyway.